Have you ever met someone on an online dating site and thought, wow, this guy is perfect for me, or she is simply amazing, only to find out they were hiding a deep, dark secret? They plan to vote for Hillary. FreedomLovers.us was created for singles who want to exchange ideas and a love for freedom. People who are looking for solutions to create and defend freedom in the real world, and at the same time, getting that once-in-a-lifetime chance to find their true soulmate. Whether you are interested in meeting your soulmate, making new friends, networking, or hanging out with that like-minded liberty lover, visit freedomlovers.us. It's the first free dating site and community. So patriots, don't waste your time with other dating sites. freedomlovers.us is the place where like-minded singles really click.
Here we go, guys and girls. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna on K-Talks 1340 AM and on United States to the FM network. This is the final hour. This is the hour about love. I tell you something, this is the hour really, for me, motivate me to be on the air. After all I told you, I couldn't care less. 3 years ago, somebody gave me this opportunity, and I was almost laughing. I say, seriously, listen to me. I can't even speak English sometimes. But I say, you know what? Maybe this could be, for me, an opportunity to do my little duty as an American, as a human being. As you know, I do not believe in government. I believe in us, we the people, humans, Americans in this case. But I don't care where you're from. The point is, I believe that in charity, I believe that we can help each other. I believe that after all, maybe this life, it's a test. It's a test to see what we can do when we have the opportunity. Sometimes, you know, we go down, we hit the floor, we hit the bottom. I did in my life. I'm not ashamed, but I'm almost proud to tell you, before I left Italy, 1998, I was coming from a very different environment. I was a music producer. I had a music magazine. I was the youngest music publisher in Italy. And thanks to the Italian government, they were able to really make me find out this crisis. There was even middle-age crisis. Would just say, I want to be the heck out of here. And I chose, that was by choice, to live 15 months on the streets of Rome. Think about it, coming from all this, record industry world, and me dressed up as the gladiator, say, give you the middle finger to the all Italian government, say, you know what, you're not going to get a dime from me, and I will live on the streets before I even pay you a dime. Pretty interesting choice. So when I see somebody living on the streets, or at least by, no choice like me, because after all, I was still making money when I was on the streets. I was taking photos dressed as the gladiator. I was making more money probably than when I was working in the regular world. But when I see people, unfortunately, that they live on the streets not by choice, but by, let's say, life, I understand how hard it can be, because there is also a dark side. It is not a funny world. It is a tough world. So the purpose of the show, as I said, the final hour, is about love. And the best, the most powerful tool that we have to fight evil, it is love. Yes, guns and freedom, they are accessory. But at the end of the day, the real fuel, the real weapon that I think is going to save humanity against all this globalism, all this new world order, we don't need to go too far. Sometimes we can do our part just in our own neighborhood, here. So when somebody try to call me or try to say, hey, there is somebody maybe needs a little help. As I said, this is a humble radio show. But still, I do everything I can to share their story. And more important, we are not here to pass judgments. We're just here to say, if you need some help, maybe sometimes even just a little thing. I like to think always the philosophy, I'd rather to teach you how to fish than give you a fish every day. But sometimes you need a fish that day. Sometimes seriously, a meal and a bed could completely change your life, because you can look at tomorrow with another daylight, with another eye. So anyway, to come to the story, so I don't talk too much like normally I do. I had a friend that we had on my show a few weeks ago from Sweden who wrote me just yesterday, a couple of days ago, and they said, listen, there is a lady in Phoenix who needs help right now. She's living on the streets. And she has no food, she has no water, and that's very bad. I don't care who you are. Seriously, right now we are blasting billions of dollars, giving them overseas to countries like really we're supposed not to give them a dime. But at the same time, we still have, unfortunately, situations like this. American people on our streets that maybe don't even have a bottle of water. So that's why I say, you know what? Nothing I can do. At least I would like to share this message of help to my Facebook friends. And hopefully there are some friends locally in the area of Phoenix that can help. At the same time, I would like to give this to this lady a microphone to share a story. And maybe, you listener, you're there. Maybe you can find a way to think about it. Maybe you can help. Maybe you can just send her a message. Whatever you can do, it's up to you. I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to tell you what to do, okay? Anyway, now let's go back to the guest. She's here. She's right now. She's in Phoenix. And her name is Radius Flux. Radius, are you there?
Yes, I am, Luca.
Nice to meet you finally over the phone, And please,
Yes.
first of all, I want just to say, I don't want to say how you're doing because probably you're not doing that well, but I want to give you the microphone to introduce briefly yourself and to introduce your story. What happened to you the last few days? Because I know you were having a very tough time.
Yeah, it's kind of where to start sort of thing, I mean, my story isn't just my story, it happens every day, all the time. I've been in a domestic violence relationship for about the last, past 2 years, and kept my silence. It seemed like the easier thing to do, just basically stand mute and take it versus deal with more pain, more physical, mental, any sort of kind of torture you can kind of imagine. There's so many people that have been out there and dealt with this situation before too, and they blame themselves, and that's what I did. I had it coming. It was my fault. Maybe if I just loved the person more, maybe if I just did this more or that more, something would change,
Radius, can I ask you something? Sorry to interrupt you because, I don't care, honestly, your sexuality. But, my only point was going to ask you that because I want to remind everybody that domestic violence, it doesn't just always comes out of the typical guy with a beard and with a bottle of beer in his hand. I mean, it's also between women, correct?
That's absolutely a great point that you're making right now too, which I've been posting on my Facebook page as well. That violence and domestic violence doesn't discriminate. It doesn't. People often, like you said, they think that comes from a guy or whatever. It comes in all shapes and all forms, and it doesn't discriminate. So. That's absolutely correct.
So you were with your companion, with your lover, which is a woman, of course, and she did really physically assault you. I mean, she really beat you up. I mean, what she did? She throw things at you, punch you. I mean, just curious because something, as I said, our stereotype of domestic violence, we can see the beast man. Well, is dirty or whatever with a beard and, alcoholic, whatever, beating the crap out of the poor woman there. But, it's hard to visualize another woman beating another woman like that, but unfortunately happens. Can you describe a little more details? It was it physical, also psychological?
It was all of the above, She would hit me with clothes, she would throw things at me, she'd pull my hair, slap me. She would just, when she would snap. I would try and hold her down, but, the fact that people just think that, like you said, men, because they do have more, they're stronger physically for the most part. But, it's not about necessarily that, I mean, the fact that, people can hurt each other. I mean, doesn't matter what size they are, picking up something and hitting someone with something or punching or pulling it, just the same thing, She kicked in, my studio door so many times, because also I try and get away from her.
Wow.
That I had to keep changing a lot, but that didn't help.
You know what is said
You know.
also, you try to ask for help, maybe you call the cops. Unfortunately, according to the laws that we have right now, both of you, you're going to get pretty much in trouble, even if you're the victim or the
Yeah.
alleged victim. Because after all, I don't know if, this is at least for people who want to exercise the Second Amendment rights. Once you are in this domestic violence, even if you are the victim, and I had a lady friend of mine who 10 years ago she was the one beaten up, called the cops, and then, the cops arrest the husband, or at least what used to be the husband. And then a few years later, she's trying to buy a gun. And the background check says, sorry, no, you were in domestic violence. You can buy any gun. So wait a sec, I was the victim. So that's always scary event. Did you have any experience with the police? Did you have to call the police one of these disputes or these fights?
Oh.
Did you?
Well, the first time, and this is an ongoing thing, as most domestic violence relationships, they tend to get the person under their thumb. Where I was literally under lock and key, where she took my key and would hide it, or if I wanted to leave and go make friends out here, I was going to have sex with them, or she would literally come down the street after me and flailing her arms and making a scene and calling me names and grabbing onto my leg and don't leave me, all that. So I figured, well, I don't want to deal with this. So, path of least resistance is go back in the house.
A lot of drama. A lot of drama. Listen,
Yeah.
how many years all this torture has been going on?
About 2 years now.
2 years. Okay. Listen, as I said, and by the way, I want to be fair with everybody. I talk to you and I'm listening to your side. I'm not there with you. And I'm not here to be a judge because I don't know the other side. All I'm saying is the purpose of this interview is mostly to say you need help right now. Okay. Now we go a little more in more details exactly where you are. You are on the streets. And this is not a fun place to be for anybody. And as I said, so all I'm saying here and now, yes, we want to see, first of all, the domestic violence reality. Unfortunately, my point was to try to make people understand it doesn't happen just to the regular couples. It's not just about husband and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend. Unfortunately, it happens between everybody. So that's my point. And then it degenerates to also situations, especially when you're dependent or maybe when things are not straight from the beginning, that you can be thrown out in the middle of the street. That happens to women. I mean, many women, they just bang, they use them and dispose them. And that's normal. And now you see it can happen to you too. So tell me, how ended up that now you are living on the streets?
Well, this is kind of her modus operandi. She's done this to several people before, where in fact she's and like I said, there's two sides to every story. But this is, what I know. And I'm actually going to the court today, the courthouse, to try and get it rescinded or, at least get an order of protection against her so I can get into my own home and just remove my belongings and get her out of my life. It's about control. Like talking to my caseworker, she's mad because what I did, Luca, I did about a month ago, is I ghosted the situation, which means I left, without any warning, because I couldn't. I tried to leave before, and that did not end in a good in a good way at all. So as soon as I broke the silence and I let my family know, and I showed the pictures and I showed all the stuff that have been happening to me, they didn't hesitate. They rushed and they're in Portland, Oregon, and they drove like it took them 24 hours, a little over 24 hours to get here straight drive.
So now,
anyway,
how many days you've been exactly out of the place you used to live with your companion, and how many days technically you've been on the streets?
Now it's been 4 days.
Wow.
But last night I actually did get a place to stay, and thank God, thank so many people out there for reaching out. I do have really good friends, and then people I didn't even know that for friends and cared. Found me a safe friend. Her name's Andy. I don't know what I should and shouldn't share on over your radio show, but she did find me a very nice man that he had an extra room. So last night was the first night that I got to stay indoors because a lot of, just in that short amount of time, unsavory things have happened, and being a younger woman and being a target, that it's pretty obvious that right now I'm on the streets and stuff. So it's not, especially Arizona, and like you're sharing your story, that it's never safe.
It's never safe. Even when you got money in your pocket. When I was on the street, I was loaded. Okay, or at least I was making 400, 500 bucks a day. So that was kind of crazy because I had my own RV. I was like kind of a gypsy king on the streets. But I had to fight with the local mafia. I had to fight with the local police. They wanted to, deny me my right to be my own on the street. I mean, it was kind of a rough environment. But at least I had a couple monies, and I was a guy. And I had also a sword on me, okay? I was the gladiator, for God's sake. Now you see, you're a single woman in the middle of Phoenix that is like hell. Probably it's worse than an ancient Rome with the lions. I mean, at night, only God knows what you have to face. Seriously, it's a really serious stuff. And people don't understand till they see that. Because when you drive in your car, in the regular car or whatever, even if you go in the bad part of town, you're still in your car, it goes fast. When you're on the streets and you see the hours passing by, especially when you start to have, hours normally people are in bed, you start to see the creeps, like almost the walking zombies. These movies coming out. They are not zombies. They're alive. Yeah. They can run and can kill you, rape you, do terrible things to you. And the cops, all they do, they come there, maybe if they can find you, to write a report. So you are really on your own. Before we go to the second part, of course, I want to see what people can do for you. In these 4 days that you had and nights that you had on the streets, anything that... maybe just to visualize a little more what you went through. Anything you can tell us?
Yeah. When I was, it was just the other night too. I was upset, and I was, down the street, and a man, came by in a motorcycle, and, he could tell that I was homeless, and then he said, started talking to me and said, if you want to jump on board, and take you somewhere safe, and I know what it's like, all that jazz. And I made the stupid decision of getting, I just, wanted to trust someone, and I don't know. I just wasn't thinking, but I went with him, and he took me to a park, and he started to assault me. But luckily, I have someone looking out for me up above. I don't know if it's just the common sense I had to, promise him later that I would call him and hook up with him later, but I was able to get out of there. But,
okay, so you were able
being, assaulted, and attacked in ways.
He was trying to rape you. That's the bottom line. I mean, this is exactly what I was thinking about. There are unfortunately vultures out there that when they see an animal in distress, because, after all, they treat us like animals. When they see you on the ground, it's like almost an animal game, okay? There are these, I don't want to call them wolves, because wolf is much more noble animal. And I don't want to call them coyote, because they're still noble animals. These are like parasites, and they're really, cowards. They see a woman, or even a man. I mean, I got guys that I know that they were on the streets, and they got raped, okay? Because they were just in a position of weakness. So I'm glad at least you didn't have to go through the whole drama, but you were able to stop it on time. But the point is, it is a very dangerous place. Now, are you trying to? First of all, what you need exactly right now? If I could have the magic wand, okay, and I'm a little Aladdin or whatever I can do, or maybe one of my listeners could do, okay. What would you like to have that to make your life a little better? I'm not talking about the whole life. We can fix all your life, but maybe just the next
Yeah.
few days. What do you need?
Oh, that's such a good question. I've been trying to, sort that on my mind because there's so much being thrown out at me. Where it's like, I have my own home studio. I'm a musician as well. I have an online clothing store. I have, it's all in there, and she knows that. And I did break away from what we were talking about earlier, how my family had helped me ghost the situation and get me out of there. So that was like about a month ago, and so I had changed my bank accounts. I had blocked her, all of her friends. Did all the things to get the no contact in order, and then I got out of there. But foolishly, she found other people to contact me and, say that, she wasn't going to do it. She refused to do it. She was not going to do it without me, and then friends, saying that, she's going to kill herself inadvertently or, directly, just, the whole gamut and playing of the heartstrings, that, I'll change.
Okay.
This will never happen again.
I'm not Dr. Phil, okay? I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a family consultant. I'm just a regular guy. But from outside, as a friend, even if I don't know you, I think, there are some things you cannot change. The only thing you can change is you. It's time to get out of there and move on with your life and do whatever you have to do. Now, my point is practically, for example, I know that you have some of your stuff, your personal belongings, in the place. Was it an apartment or was it a home, if I can ask you? Was it a rental? What is this?
It's an apartment. It's a 2-bedroom apartment.
Okay, so you were sharing this apartment with your lover, okay, with your girlfriend, correct?
Correct.
So now she's there. She's taking possession of all your things. And bottom line, what would you like to have? Just to understand. So people, maybe we can help you in practical things that we can do, hopefully. You would like to have, first of all, somebody that can come there with you and load up whatever you have and take it with you, correct? That would be the first thing. Am I right?
Yeah. Yes, that is absolutely correct because, this is a manipulation power play, and she just wants to make me pay for leaving her in the first place and then getting me to come back out here. So that and then legal consultation. I could really use someone that knows about the law out here because I have photographs of the times that she's hitting me, the things that she's broken, the lies, the manipulation, and emails and texts and a lot of stuff.
Okay, that's the second issue is about. You weren't married, correct? You're just a girlfriend and girlfriend. Am I right?
Correct.
So, now
wanted to get married, but I
didn't. My point is this one, if I can ask you. At this point, you already went through the violence. The drama is already been passed. And it's just me, of course. I don't know exactly what you obtained from from the system, because I really believe that the system wouldn't give you much, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm no lawyer here, okay? But the point is, once you get your stuff and you get the hell out of there, what do you need even to entertain any other further discussion with this lady? Seriously. At that point, I'm sorry. You got abused, or allegedly I say you got abused because, of course, I'm not here in front of a court of law and there is no judgment. But the point is, going back there, I don't think you're going to get nothing out of her, just more drama.
I don't want to at all. I don't want to at all.
Yeah.
What I want to do legally here is she's done this to not only me, but she's done this to other people.
Mm-hmm.
She's cried rape several times. She's had these orders of protection, put on other people so she can manipulate and, do what she would like to do,
You need some help to get your stuff back. Do you need legal help? Because right now, probably, I don't know, do you have access? Can you come close to your belonging to the? Can you?
Okay. That's a very, very good question too, Luca. Now, out in Arizona, I guess now reading it, it says that you have a total of one time to get your belongings, and trust me, she's going to, where you can, if you know, if you're a good person, allow the person the time to go in there and, you know, an hour or two.
Okay.
But it's a police standby, and it's usually only for like 15 minutes. So
okay.
Luckily, I did not unpack my stuff because I felt.
How much stuff do you? How much stuff do you have? How much? I don't think. I mean, living in an apartment, I don't think you have to move like Martha Stewart's home. Okay, so I'm sure we can manage that probably with a little rented truck. How much stuff do you really have? I mean, a couple of guys. Don't you think they could help?
Yeah, because like I said too, I kept it all packed up again. I can send you pictures of my studio because I have a music studio in there.
You don't have to. What I will do is this. If you send it to me, I'll put it on Facebook. I'm going to call here to my listeners that they live around the Phoenix area. Of course, my show mostly is Mojave County here, Laughlin, Nevada, and Needles, California. But if you are somebody listening to this broadcast and you live in the Phoenix area, exactly where are you in? What is your apartment?
It's in Tempe, and then it's 1314.
Okay, we don't need to give more details of the show. But anyway, the point is this: if you have like a couple hours of your time to say, hey, maybe right now, rather than, I don't know, it's your call. You want to help another person who needs some help. You don't need to be involved in anything. Just be a truck driver and a mover for a couple hours. You know, some people like to go to the hospital and help people. Some other people like to go to church. I like to go to the range and help people. But in this case, I think it's really a good thing. If you have a truck, or maybe a couple trucks, a couple friends, and to find a way to help this lady, I think would be a very nice thing. And at that point, what I will do is this. Of course, it's up to you. You have a Facebook page that I know you have access when you have the internet, or at least when you have the electricity to charge your phone. If you can give any way that you want to, way people can communicate with you, so they can reach you out, and maybe they can say, by the way, maybe I have a little storage area, you can put your stuff for a while, or maybe, I don't know, whatever people can offer you to help you. I'm here just to give you the microphone. So please give the way how the people can contact you.
Okay. Well, I do have my email address, and then my Facebook. It is Radius Flux, and like I said, I do have an online clothing store. It's Couture Pop Threads with a K.
Spell it out. Spell it out again. I want to go to the website right now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It's KouturePopThreads.com.
Okay. What you do also, when you can, send me the text via Facebook, and I will post it out on my website, lovegunsfreedom.com. Because you know what I like, people want to help people. Guess what? We don't even need to give you buy some of your products. That would be fun. Get some of your products, and the same way we can help you out. But of course, there are many other ways too. So yes, let's do that. Please, if you want, reach this woman. If you live in the area, it's a great thing to do. That's all I'm saying. This is nothing about getting involved in anything. It's just about somebody right now needs some help to get their stuff back. And maybe, for example, let me ask you, did you find any help after yesterday we put out that little Facebook post in your area, at least to have a place to sleep the next few days?
Yes, there was such an amazing outpour of, friends, of people I didn't know. Like I said, my friend from Oregon, Andy, I was trying to get a hold of, I'm sorry, I believe it was Benjamin, and another, I'm not sure. I messaged quite a few of them, but I understand that people have lives and they were busy, so I couldn't get a hold of them first, and then Andy got hold of a friend out here that she knew that was, a solid person, and she had stayed with for a time out here.
So
she was living out here.
So you're okay for the next few days. You have a room, you have a roof, you got some food, and you can reorganize your things. Now, bottom line, what I think really would help you out, if you have a guy or a girl, I don't care who is he, somebody can help you out with 2 arms strong enough to move your stuff, put them in a truck, and so you can start to take back your stuff. And of course, hopefully the police gonna be there presence to keep the peace.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
no
very
dramas. You leave and you start to back on your life, and you do whatever you want to do in your life without any more to face all the drama. Am I right? That would make your life pretty much nice, right? I mean, at least back to normal, correct?
Yes, that's correct, Luca. Another thing that is very important to me is to not continue to let this happen to other people as well, where she's gotten away with this for such a long time. So the legal advice, I have people, exes that have come forward to me, like even in the beginning, and said, get away from her. She's going to, claim you raped her. She's going to, she, cuts herself and hurts herself, and then she'll blame it on you. So if I could get any sort of legal counsel, that would help me to go.
One thing I think would be helpful, beside a specific person in general, as you experience, because I noticed that I see pattern between man or woman, doesn't matter, when sometimes, the wife or the woman got beat up. And I know that because I got my mother, unfortunately, was part of terrible physical abuse by my father. I know probably I shouldn't share this stuff on the air, but this is true. This is real life. And I saw with my own eyes. That's why when I see things like that, I get really mad. Because I think, first of all, violence, it is not the answer, unless for self-defense. And more important, when you use violence against a person that normally is weaker than you, like a woman in this case, it's really an act of cowardice. It is there is no justification. So my point is this: what I really would like to say, and I tell you, my mom had an excuse. I had 2 children. And she tried everything she could to keep a family together. But there is a point when you reach really the limit, because your safety, your health. I mean, you can go to the hospital every other week. I mean, that's gonna kill you, okay? So the point is, you gotta say stop. And that's probably what I think your experience would be important, not just with the specific person that you're talking about, but also in general for all the other people out there that they always say, maybe there is hope, maybe she can change, or maybe he can change. I'm sorry, once you raise your hand the first time on another person, especially in a relationship, it's a very good 99% you're going to do it again. And no, I don't.
Especially if there's no consequences.
Exactly.
Like, if a child is doing something it shouldn't be doing, and the parent doesn't, gently teach them to not keep doing it, they'll keep doing that and keep pushing it as far as they can go until eventually, domestic violence situations especially, it can end up with someone dead.
Listen, if you are 2 people at the same type of level, sometimes, like brothers and sisters, with my brother, once in a while we used to fight a little bit, okay? No big deal. It was a brother's fight, okay? But that's different. I would never touch a woman or a person that I know, for example, as some, let's say, you see that you have a physical advantage. That's so wrong, period, okay? And that's why I tell you, I grew up with this repulsion when I see a man touch a woman that is not for a nice way. I got disgusted and I get mad, and that's why I really hate domestic violence, because I saw enough when I was a child, and I promise never in my life to touch a woman. More important, if I see somebody doing that, I may go loosen it up a little bit, and I get violent a little bit myself, but not with a woman, of course. My point is this one. I see a kind of, slender lady, kind of skinny, and I don't know the other side. She's like physical, little bigger than you. I mean...
no, she's actually a little bit smaller than me.
Oh, really?
One of the things that, one of the things that you talk about too, though, right now, I do have a lot of medical issues right now,
Uh-huh.
where I do have cancer, and it was in remission.
Oh my gosh.
So I've especially lost, I've lost 30 pounds
Yeah, I
over the
see.
last year too.
Wow.
So I've got my medications in there. I've got doctor's appointments,
My gosh.
constantly. So, especially, being, I shouldn't be on the streets in the first place, but then being sick on top of it, I don't really stand a chance. I don't stand a chance to be able to fend off,
What? Listen,
attacker or the violence that she's bestowed upon me.
And it's wrong. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't care if even if you're at the same level, we should never fight. We should never use violence. Just leave the house and see you. We move on. But the point is, sometimes, I hate the idea when there is somebody that is stronger or maybe, is physical advantage and take advantage of a woman or a man, doesn't matter, that is in a position of weakness. I mean, that's terrible. I really believe that there is no excuse. Now, talking about something different a little bit, because I'm sorry to hear that also beside this problem, you also have some medical problems. I mean, it's really like the expression that they use when, it pours when it rains or whatever in America you say, I forgot.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's talk about positive things now. I know you're into music, and of course you got your line of the clothing. Tell me a little bit about what do you do? You write, you compose, you produce. What do you do with the music?
I'm very, very fluid as far as that. I've DJ'd for over a decade, but I kind of wanted to do my own thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm more of a composer, and my dream would be to, do soundtracks. But right now, unfortunately, it's kind of a lot of this has kind of had to be put on the back burner. And in fact, I was getting ready to start a community project. I got the domain names, I got the e-commerce to start a website.
Okay.
For diverse styles of music.
What do you like?
Women that are in music.
What type of music do you like?
I'm a lover of all music classical. I love EDM. I love country. I love rock. I love, new wave, old wave, 80s, IDM, trance, dubstep, hip hop, trip hop. So
one step
a little bit of everything.
One step at a time. I say, first of all, let's try to get you back on track to have a roof, to have a place where you can live and work, because also you need a place to work, okay? I mean, you can't just work from the street unless you were like me, taking photos with tourists as a gladiator. That's a different type of job. I don't think in Phoenix would work very well there. So anyway,
that's the thing is I have an online store. All the stock is in there, and she knows that.
Yeah. So you need to get your stuff back. One more time, let's give the way how people can contact you if they live in the Phoenix area or wherever area. Sometimes people drive to watch a football game. They drive for hours, okay? I mean, wherever you are, if you can afford it, if you have the time, if you can help this lady, all we ask you here to spend a few hours of your time with a truck or any type of whatever you have to move stuff, okay? And move her stuff, coordinate it with her so she can get her stuff away from the place where her ex-lover is. And hopefully maybe next step would be if somebody maybe in the area has a little garage they could drop for a few days or maybe a few weeks, I don't know, whatever time she needs, your belonging. And at that point you have a chance to start to look for your own place, reorganize your work, reorganize your life, and try to put this behind. Okay, give your information again one more time.
Okay, is it okay if I give my phone number?
For me, it's fine.
Okay?
That's fine. I mean, whatever you want.
Okay. That would probably be the best if someone can text, because I do keep my, codes in a lockbox in my studio. So my phone number is 602-826-1972, and I'll be, anytime of, night or day, if anybody would kindly text or call, either or, it would just be, a godsend.
All right, listen, I want to say pray for you. That's all I can do right now. And I would like to buy some of your clothing. I don't know if I can fit. I'm kind of a big guy. Is it for guys or girls, your clothing?
It's a little bit of everything.
Okay, I want to buy. I want to buy a couple things. I would like to buy a couple things as next week, and I would like to hear from good news from you. Okay, that somehow we can find you somebody to help you out in the move, so you can get your stuff, and give me a ring as you got this good news, and I would like to put you back on the show, and we promote a little bit your website, and maybe we can do some shopping. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
And thank you to everyone that has just reached out that I don't know, and the people I do know. I don't know what I really don't. I don't know what I would have done had there not been an outpour of people, being humans, and understanding that this isn't, it doesn't discriminate. It could happen to anyone. It could be, like a mother, a sister, a brother, anyone. And the fact that people can put the shoe on the other foot when a lot of times these days people they don't do that, It's just, in your show is amazing that is about love and about connecting and about, pulling together as people should, if we want to make it through any crisis, because it could happen to anyone. And like I said, this is not just my story, this is other people's stories.
Yes,
so
it
many
is.
people's stories.
And I want to thank Solar from Sweden, because, honestly, I was in the morning waking up, drinking my coffee, and if it wasn't for her, I have no idea what's going on with you. I'm just here in the middle of nowhere, Mojave County, living in the desert, and this lady from Sweden. Think about this is the beautiful part of all this, a woman that we never met. We are Facebook friends, but she's friends with you, of course, and she cares about you. She's been following your story, and she tried to do everything she can, and that was great. I'm glad. I didn't do much, but all I did was, hey, I have other friends out there in Phoenix. Hopefully they can help, or even just try to make you feel less alone, because that's sometimes, I tell you, when you are alone, you are in a situation like living on the streets, you can have bad thoughts, okay? You think literally the world is ending, and that's not the right way. And I believe the least we can do is say, you're not alone. Times are tough, and I always believe we need to reach the bottom sometime. We need to reach the destruction to have a rebirth. I tell you, and I don't want to make you feel like, the corny moment of the story, but when I left Italy, my last few months, I really reached the bottom. I mean, even, of course, it was my choice, and I lived 15 months pretty much on the streets almost, okay? That's where I was. I was working on the streets. And I came here with nothing. I came here with 2 luggages full of dreams. And I'm telling you, I don't want to say that I got it all together, but guess what? I feel that I have more than I deserve. And my bottom line is this. There is always hope. There is always hope. And sometimes we got to really learn from our mistakes. And we got to really push the reset button. And maybe this is your reset button. I hope it is, And from this, you're going to, maybe next year we're going to talk and say, you know what, my gosh, it seems like a life ago that I was going through all that garbage. And now I'm doing fine. I'm better. My health is better. I got my new lover or whatever you want to have. And I got my business going. And I'm a happy human being. That's what I really pray for you, okay?
Thank you so much. It's amazing. I'm just speechless, really. I really don't know how to even take this in, because I haven't really experienced much help or love throughout my life.
Listen, Radios, don't need to thank me. I just do this. You're my sister. Even I don't know you. You're a woman that needs help. And all I say, I'm here, everything I can. Right now, let's do that. Do what you have to do with your day. Try to gather all your information. Hopefully we can get by this weekend somebody to help you out with the move. That would be the next goal for me, if I were you. Get your stuff out. Let's be in touch next few weeks. Right now I would like to dedicate a song I wrote a few years ago. It's a song of hope, and there is always sun after the thunder. Okay, this is music lyrics by myself, dedicated to you and to every other woman or man out there that right now they're facing tough times. Okay.
Thank you, Luca. Wait, may I say one more thing real quick?
Yes.
I do want to thank Solar so much. You know, we're both in a support group, and we've been there for each other, but this is just, you know, her stepping forward is just, it's helped so much. So
Yep.
I just wanted to put that out there again, too, and Luca, and there's so many people that have helped. So.
All right, so you got my cell phone, you got my Facebook, we are friends now. Keep me posted, everything's going on. And if I didn't have already things to do this weekend, I have things that unfortunately I committed a few months ago, I would probably drive down to Phoenix just to check you out a little bit. But maybe you're going to take care of this week. And I should come to Phoenix pretty soon, by the way. I have a gun show in December. I want to see you by then. I hope you're going to be great by then. And by the way, let's be in touch because I may come and we have lunch together. I invite you for lunch, okay?
I would love that. Thank you so much. I look forward to meeting face to face.
All right. Listen, have a wonderful rest of the day. And now, guys, don't go away. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom. We'll look at Zanna. There is always sun after the thunder. And then we wrap it up this hour. You'll be listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom. Don't go away.
Sometimes in life, you lose your way. You feel alone with all your pain. You see no hope, you have no faith. Just please hold on, things are gonna change. There's always sun after the thunder. There will be hope in our lives. Oh baby, please hold me tight. There's always sun after the thunder. There will be rainbows in your eyes. Oh baby, you will never cry anymore. Another day, another rain. You are my life, you keep me safe. You are the breeze that blows away these dark clouds out of my way. Sun after the thunder, there will be hope in our lives. Oh baby, please hold me tight. There's always sun after the thunder. There will be rainbows in your eyes. Oh baby, you will never cry anymore. I never wanna see you cry. No more pain in your eyes. Rather die, baby. Rather There's always sun after the thunder. There will be hope in our lives. Oh baby, please hold me tight. There's always sun after the thunder. There will be rainbows in your eyes. Oh baby, we'll never cry anymore.
He's a songwriter, a poet, a rifleman,
I'm not afraid.
and a constitutional activist.
I'm not afraid.
Italian by birth,
I'm
American by choice, Gianluca Zanna,
I'm not afraid.
and his new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom. 16 powerful songs on one CD from the heart of a patriot. For download or to order the CD, go to www.lovegunsfreedom.com. That's www.lovegunsfreedom.com. Lyrics for your mind, music for your heart. Gianluca Zanna's new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom.
Hey, you. Yes, I'm talking to you. You deserve a break. Enjoy a moment of indulgence. It's time for Zanna Coffee. Guilt-free pleasure. Zanna Coffee is the organic coffee to amplify your senses and enhance love for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Only the best organic and GMO-free coffee beans from around the world that I selected. Zanna Coffee brings you happiness in every cup. Fair trade certified, sustainable organic coffee. That means we do not use slaves. Free Zanna songs with every coffee bag. Find Zanna Coffee at www.zannacoffee.com. www.zannacoffee.com. Get your coffee bag now. Don't be cheap. Life is too short and you deserve the best. Zanna Coffee. Here we go. This is the final part. Today's show, Love, Guns, and Freedom. We look at Zanna. What can I say? It's a blessing to be here. I really mean it. And it's a blessing even in these tough times. I believe we are here for a reason. Sometimes I don't really understand it, but I know there is a reason. And it almost seems like we are finding each other. And one of the reasons why I kept going doing this show, and I tell you, it's a sacrifice for me. It takes a lot of energy. I'm just a regular guy. I don't have a bunch of slaves working for me, okay? I have businesses, several businesses need to run, responsibility, family, a mother, a brother. I mean, I have things. And this show, if I want to do it the way I want to do it, it takes effort. But I tell you, I'm grateful every time. I'm grateful every second. And I want to thank also, somebody that normally we don't really agree. And still is the responsible that I'm here on the show. Mr. Deves. I'm getting close to my 3rd year on the air. And it's funny, it's almost the date. A few more weeks, going to be 3 years I'm on the air. I cannot believe it. Mr. Deves is the former owner of the station. And, we disagree on many things. Sometimes it drives me crazy, seriously. And I think it's just normal. It's like we are alpha and omega. But one thing I tell you, he always gave me the freedom of speech, like also the new owner is giving me. Don't get me wrong. So I want to thank him. I want to thank also Mr. Rubin, that still somehow, it's his show, it's his station. Let me be here and sharing exactly what I want to share. I don't go through any filters. I can say whatever I want, and the moment that they don't agree with me, doesn't agree with me, I'll be gone. That's fine. But the point, I'm here. And why I think it's important, I'm grateful. Because what we're doing here, it is more than just a show. I hate the word show. This is not entertainment. This is about life. This is about freedom. This is about the future of this generation, next generation. It's not just about the future of America. It's about the future of humanity. I know it's a humble little local show here in Needles, broadcasting between, Laughlin, Bullhead, whatever. But it's beyond that. I really believe even Facebook, that is such a control instrument of a self-voluntary, let's say, control. They control us through Facebook. They monitor. They have algorithms. I understand. But playing through their tools, we can reach each other. We can somehow wake up others. And that's the purpose also of the show. I'm not here to be the radio guy, I said many times. I'm here just to try to find each other, to inspire each other, to learn from each other. There is so much I learn as a human being, as an American, as everything you can imagine. To be here, it's an honor. That's all I want to say. And I tell you, Sometimes I may come out a little harsh. Yes, I have my own opinions. But more important, normally I wouldn't care less. If you really disagree with me on things like they don't really touch me, it's your freedom. I don't care. But when you disagree on things like you want to change my rights, you want to change my life, you want to judge me, you want to somehow impose your morals on me, and I'm not harming anybody else, or you want to use my money or our money for your utopistic situation, forcing, extorting through the government, that's why I become kind of harsh. But normally, I'm a very mild person. I love everybody. Seriously, I really think we should all get along if we respect each other. That's the idea. And also another thing, this hour about love is probably the most, for me, beautiful part of the show. Having the opportunity to reach each other, even just to try to help each other, even just sometimes just listening. I'm not saying that I'm here, I have the magic wand. I'm just a regular guy. I wish I had, unlimited funds, and every time I can help somebody, I would love to. I'm just a guy. I work hard. I work for a living, okay? I'm not David Rockefeller. I don't print money out of thin air, okay? But still, the point is, it's a great opportunity and great honor to be with you. That's all I want to say. And I want to thank Mr. Ace to encourage me to be on the air. I wanted to say again, thank you, Mr. Rubin, to let me stay here. And more important, you listeners, to give me the opportunity, with your help, with your support, spreading the show, even supporting through purchasing my products, because that's the way we support this show for me. Otherwise, I would have not really the energy and the resources. I have to make a living, seriously. Anyway, thank you. That's all I wanted to say. All right. I also would like to say next Sunday, incredible guest, more information, more love, more guns, and more freedom. And if you want to support this show, you don't need to be rich. 99 cents. Seriously. You can download any of my songs. You can get them for free on YouTube. That's true. If you want to help me out and keep the motivation and keep also my time, because I have used a lot of hours out of my week, go to www.zanna.us. Now, God's willing, please have a wonderful week. Let's pray for peace, but be prepared for the worst. And let's not forget, we are here, limited time on this planet. One day we'll be judged. And you don't need to believe in anything. But regardless what you believe, one day we'll be judged. I really believe that. But whatever, be nice. That's all I can say. Don't be an ass, okay? You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom. We'll look at Zanna. Talk to you next Sunday. Ciao.